Hello everybody, it's TCG here back with another video. On my last video on my one card combo, I got a request to make a video on what you do if you draw Coelacanth or you draw any of his targets, or I'm assuming if you draw barrier statue, so pike, Greethys, any one of these. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how to combo if you draw each one of these cards. I'm going to do it all in separate combos. I'm going to show you what you do if you draw them. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. We're going to start with Deep Sea King as our first one. So we're going to go Deep Sea King, and we're going to have our Neptibus, of course, and then we're going to have three blank cards. So we're going to start these combos out the same way every time, and it's going to be normal summon Neptibus and activate his effect. We are going to then send our Shadow Squad, and then we are going to add Atlantean Dragoons. This will then trigger our Shadow Squad to summon, which will summon our Pike. So we're going to activate our Pike, discarding Atlantean Dragoons to add. And we're going to add Abyss Rhine, and then Dragoons is going to trigger, and it's going to let us add Deep Sea Minstrel. So now we're going to activate Minstrel, and we're going to ditch it and the Coelacanth to rip a card out of our opponent's hand. So now we are going to activate our Rhine here, and we're going to send it and Neptibus to the graveyard, except this time we are going to add. We're going to add Abystius. So now, since Prince went to the graveyard, we're going to actually summon back the Dragoons. And then we are going to overlay the Dragoons here with the Pike. And we are going to make Bahamut Shark. We're then going to activate our Bahamut Shark, detaching the Dragoons to summon. We're going to summon Toad. It's going to trigger our Dragoons here to search. And we're going to add Poseidra. We're now going to link these two off. And we're going to make Coral Anemone. So now, because Toad went to the graveyard, it's going to let us add back, and we are going to add back the Dragoons. We're going to activate Teus as effect. We're going to discard the Dragoons to summon it. And then we're going to trigger the Teus to add. I'm just going to add another Rhine here. So then the Dragoons is going to trigger and let us add. And we're going to add Neptibus. So now we're going to activate our Coral Anemone effect, and we are going to special summon our Shadow Squad. We're going to activate our Shadow Squad's effect, discarding Poseidra to make these both level 7. We're going to overlay these two, and we're going to make Abyss Trite. And we're going to activate the Trite's effect, and we are going to summon our Deep Sea King. So now I'm going to link these two off, and then I'm going to summon Mermail King Neptibus. And now that we're here, I'm going to activate our Deep Sea King, and we're going to descend here. And we are going to summon a Pike, and a Greethys, and then this will trigger our King and a new chain. Then we're going to add our Abyss Sting. So this is where I think Abyss Sting is an important card, because Abyss Sting lets you play through drawing these bricks in multiple scenarios and lets you still end on a Toad or double Toad, and I'm going to show you by doing that. I think this card's very important just for the fact of it's not really a break most of the time if you open like multiple waters. It's only a break if you open like one water, and most of the time, unless that's Neptibus, you're not going to be playing anyways. So I think this is a very valuable card to have. Okay, so now I'm going to synchro here with these two. And I'm going to summon Deep Sea Prima Donna. We're going to put that card back into their hand, and we are going to summon our barrier statue. So now we're going to activate our Triana here. And we're to special summon back Dragoons. So then we're going to overlay this Dragoons and this Pike over here. And we're going to make Bahamut Shark, and this will die. And then I am going to detach here, detaching the Dragoons to summon another Toad. And then that Dragoons will trigger. That's going to let us add heavy infantry. So this is where this can differ. You can go 2 different routes here. You can either overlay these two right here if you would like to do that, and to make a Abyss Gaios, saying you're playing it's like Tenpai or something. But I personally like to link these two off into Alacia, so that I have a way to discard both of these cards in my hand as 2 different forms of interruption if they find some way to get out of this barrier statue. So drawing the Deep Sea King, we're still ending on Lacia that has a discard. Ryan in the graveyard with the discard, so it makes Neptibus a return a card, and that's going to make Heavy Infantry pop a card. Toad, which is an Omni Negate, and 3 blanks in hand, and then you have King, of course, protecting everything it's pointing to. So that's going to be if you draw the Deep Sea King. All right, next I want to show you if you open Netivus and a pike. So we're going to normal summon the same way we started off, and we're going to activate the Netivus. This is going to happen in every combo because it's just bread and butter, honestly. It's send Shadow Squad, add Dragoons. And then Shadow Squad's going to trigger to let you summon a pike. Let me grab one out of here. Summon pike, and then we're going to activate pike's effect, discarding Dragoons. That's going to, of course, add Rhine. And then Dragoons is going to activate, and that will let you add... Let me find her here. Deep Sea Minstrel. So we're activate Deep Sea Minstrel, discard it and the pike, and we're going to rip a card out of our opponent's hand here. So now we're going to activate the Rhyme. We're going to send it and the Netivus to the graveyard, and we're going to special summon this time. So now we're going to summon our Deep Sea King. It's going to trigger our Netivus here, and Netivus is going to summon back Dragoons. We're going to overlay these two. Make Bahamut Shark. Bahamut Shark detach to the Dragoons. Summon our Toad. Dragoons will now trigger. I'm going to add Poseidro. Going to activate Deep Sea King. We're going to discard the Poseidro. So then we are going to summon, get it here. Going to summon our Greethys, our pike, and then that will be the only two targets on that one. Then we are going to synchro these two off here. Combine Prima Donna. And then we are going to synchro into Prima Donna. Prima Donna is going to put the card back into their hand. Then we are going to summon the barrier statue. We're going to overlay the Prima Donna here and our Deep Sea King. And we're going to make Abyss Trite. We're going to activate Trite's effect, and we are going to summon back a Dragoons. So now we are going to link the Bahamut Shark here and the Abyss Shrine, or excuse me, Abyss Trite into Coral Anemone. Fixing zones here. All right, we're going to activate Coral Anemone's effect, and we are going to summon back our Greethys. We're going to activate Greethys' effect. We're going to summon back our pike. Now we are going to overlay our pike and our Dragoons here, and we are going to make a Bahamut Shark. Then we're going to link these two off into our Mermail Abyss King. And then we are going to activate our Bahamut Shark, and we are going to detach Dragoons to summon a Toad. So this will then trigger Dragoons and King. Add our Netivus, and then we're going to add our Sting. And then we're going to activate our Sting here, and we're going to summon back here. And then I'm going to link these two off. And then we're going to make Abyss Lacia. So this is withdrawing pike. We still ended on the same board. We have our Netivus in our hand to summon back our Poseidra in the graveyard. We have our double Toad. We have our Lacia, and then we also have our Rhine in graveyard. And this is also dead now, excuse me. So it's the same board, and that is withdrawing one pike. All right, now we're going to do if we draw the Greethys and the Netivus. So we are going to normal summon the Netivus, same as before, and we are going to activate the Netivus' effect. We're going to send the Shadow Squad to add the Dragoons. It's going to activate the Shadow Squad to special summon the pike. Then we're going to activate the pike's effect, discarding the Dragoons. And we're going to add Rhine, and then Dragoons will let us add Minstrel. So now we're going to activate Minstrel, sending it and our Greethys to the graveyard to rip a card out of our opponent's hand. Then we're going to then activate Rhine, sending it and the Netivus to special summon. We're going to special summon Coelacanth. Then we're going to activate our Prince's effect, and we're going to summon back the Dragoons. We're going to overlay the Dragoons and the pike here, and we are going to make Bahamut Shark. We're going to activate Bahamut Shark's effect, detaching the Dragoons, and we're going to summon our Toad. It's then going to trigger our Dragoons to search. We're going to add Poseidra. All right, now we are going to activate our Deep Sea King, discarding the Poseidra. And we're going to summon two pikes. We're then going to link these two pikes off here. And we're going to make coral anemone, link the pike and the Bahamut shark. We're going to activate coral anemone's effect. We're going to summon back the Greethys. And then we are going to activate the Greethys effect, and we are going to special summon back these dragoons here. We're just going to synchro here for a 7. We're going to make Deep Sea Prima Donna. So now that we made Prima Donna, we're going to activate Prima Donna. We're going to put the card back into their hand to summon the barrier statue. So now we're going to overlay here. And we're going to make Trite. Trite's going to then summon back the dragoons. Then we're going to overlay these two into Bahamut Shark. Then we're going to link these off into Mermail Atlantean Combos here. We're going to detach dragoons here, or detach dragoons off Bahamut Shark to summon a Totally Awesome. That's going to trigger our dragoons and our Neptibus. We're going to add Neptibus and then our Sting. We're going to activate Sting, just revive anything here, and we're going to link these two off into Abysslacia. So that was if we drew Greethys. We're ending on the same exact board. We have 3 randoms in hand, our Neptibus. This is now in the graveyard. And then we have our king that's protecting everything, double-toed Lacia. Same exact thing, that's if you draw the Greethys. Alright, now I'm going to show you if you open the barrier statue, how you're going to play with the barrier statue in your hand. So we're going to normal summon our Neptibus. This is going to be the same thing as always. We're going to activate our Neptibus. And we are going to Neptibus Sense Shadow Squad, and of course add our dragoons. It's going to trigger our Shadow Squad. And that's going to summon a pike. And then we're going to activate pike, and we're going to discard dragoons. It's going to then let us go here and add our Abyss Rhyme. And then dragoons is going to trigger, and then that's going to let us add our Minstrel. So now we're going to activate Minstrel, and we're going to discard the barrier statue. We're going to rip a card out of our opponent's hand. Then we're going to activate our Rhine here, send it and the Prince to the graveyard. And we are going to summon Deep Sea King Coelacanth. And then we're going to activate the Prince in our graveyard, and we're going to summon back the dragoons. We're going to overlay these two here. And we're going to make Bahamut Shark. We're going to activate Bahamut Shark's effect. We're going to detach the dragoons to summon. We're going to then summon a toad. Then dragoons is going to trigger. We're going to add Poseidra, of course. Then we're going to activate Coelacanth, discarding the Poseidra. And now we are going to summon our Greethys, a pike, and a pike. So now we're going to synchro these two off here. We're going to summon our Deep Sea Prima Donna. Now we're going to Donna put the card back in our hand, in their hand, and instead of summoning the barrier statue here, we're actually going to just summon a dragoons. So then we're going to overlay the dragoons over here with this pike, and we're going to make a Bahamut Shark. So then we're going to overlay these two, and we're going to make our Trite. Then we're going to activate our Trite's effect, and we are going to summon back the barrier statue. So then we're going to link the Trite and the Bahamut Shark off into Anemone. And then we're going to activate Anemone's effect. We're going to summon back the Greethys here. We're going to activate the Greethys, and we're just going to summon back a pike here. So then we're going to link the Coral Anemone and the Greethys, and we're going to go into Deep Sea King. We're going to detach this dragoon now from the Bahamut Sharks to activate to summon the toad. And then we're going to trigger the dragoons here. We're going to search our Neptibus. So now we're going to trigger our Deep Sea King 2 as well because it was detached. So we have the same chain as the dragoons. We're going to add the Sting. And then we are going to link these two off. And we are going to link into the Lacia. So now this is if you draw the barrier statue, you are going to end with a Neptibus, double-toed Lacia, and then we're also going to end with the barrier statue being protected. Now the reason why I like doing my combos around getting this card in hand is because A, it lets you extend through those boards like I showed you, as well as B, if you side in the scale, It's very good if you're going to go against somebody who's going to try and drop at you or Ultimate Slayer. Anything that you can't react to, that card is able to. And instead of adding this here, it gets equipped to the king, and it's just a form of spell negation to more solidify your board. But that's going to be my video. That's me showing you how to go through all of the lines of going through each of the bricks and what you're going to do and how you're going to combo and how you're still going to make your boards. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. Please like, subscribe, and thank you for watching my content. Hope you have a good night.